Hey guys, how you doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Ansatsu Kyoushitsu second season, which is on episode 15. Now, I am pretty sure a lot will be surprised to see to it that I'm actually recapping an episode that has not been subbed out yet. Well, the reason why I'm doing this is because I read the manga already, and I've been comparing a couple things here and there with the episode and the chapter with the certain images. I was really worried and concerned that they might have rushed it to a point where I might snap out and rant. But that did not become the case. They actually changed a couple scenes though. Maybe switched a couple things here and there, which kind of bothered me a bit, but I think it actually fit really well with how it flew, or fit well with the flow. So if anything else, I would get started right away, and if I take a long time and so forth and this video is long, go ahead and rant at me, alright? Who cares? Anyways, let's get started. I'll do my best to see what I can do after seeing the episode not really subbed out, but and so forth. So we have to it that it plays off where Korosensei is battling against Kayano. And it seems like she's really losing it right now. Not to mention she's going crazy. Insane mode. Berserker, if anything. And Korosensei asks the students, you guys gotta help me. We have to remove Kayano's tentacles immediately. From where I'm standing right now, she's really starting to die. She's going to die very soon if this thing does not end. And right now, everyone's doing the best to figure something out right now. But right now, Korosensei is willing to take a major hit to his heart right now, which he explains to the students behind his tie, you know. But apparently, after what's been going on, we have to it that what the heck are we supposed to do now, you know? But this was a pretty difficult thing for me, you know. And right now, Korosensei is saying he'll do what he can, but you guys need to help me right now. Because if you guys do not graduate correctly, it's gonna be a shame for me on death row. And therefore, we have to it that Nagisa is trying to figure out what to do right now, but he doesn't know. He's trying to remember all the things that he's done, but there's only one thing he can do. But after that, we have to it that Korosensei allows Kayano to hit him right in the chest or heart, or in the middle of his chest, which is one of his weak points, you know? And we have to it that Nagisa comes in and kisses her. Seriously, it was just perfect. Everyone was like, whoa, what the hell are you doing? And therefore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hits critically, and she gets knocked out. And therefore, Korosensei managed to get rid of all the tentacles right on time. Kayano wakes up eventually, and after being complimented here and there, Korosensei did cough up some blood or cells because after what's happened to him, you know. After all that, after all what's been happening, we have to it that Korosensei was being shot at, but apparently Korosensei managed to dodge it. But apparently we have to it that the person with the guy who shot him is with him. The guy who looks like the freaking white ghost costume whatsoever. Apparently he says, I'm the one that's gonna kick your butt, alright? You took everything from me, and Korosensei realized it was Yanagisawa. And therefore he tells his number 2 to go right now. And therefore, after everything, what's up, Kayano wakes up, everybody talks to her, and she apologizes of what's been happening, you know. And she really is sorry about what I've done, you know. And Nagisa mentions everything you did, especially my hairdo and you bonding with everybody, and we love Korosensei. All that matters is that you have friends. I mean, think about it. All that stuff you did with us, you know, has been a great time. But right now, he's willing to tell us what's been going on, you know? So, let's listen to him. All of us together. And therefore, Kayano cries and says, thank you. I can finally stop acting, you know? and so forth. And therefore, it goes on to the deep parts now. Now, I know a lot of people could say Assassination Classroom sucks and so forth. Speaking of which, I'm not going to go into that. Maybe towards the end of the finale. Maybe on the finale, then I'll talk about it. But not right now. So, we have to it that one of our buddies, one of our classmates, what's his name again? The guy who's always like the man of something, you know, apparently. He ends up talking to Korosensei. We have to it that he talks to Korosensei and, well, Isogai. Yeah, Isogai tells Korosensei, everything's been going on here and so forth. I think it's time that you reveal your past with Yukimura-sensei. You know? I know no matter how terrible or tragic it is, we want to know. I mean, like, as long as we can accept the truth, that's it. And therefore, Korosensei, it seems like he was kind of reluctant at first. Because he wanted to leave his story and his past to the end. But he has no option. He says, your trust and your bonds are so precious to me. So, he therefore explains to the students with the story, like, you know, on Southern Ireland during summer vacation, we have to it that things were starting to be a little crazy here and there. And he says class E was his first time teaching anybody, you know? And he says he managed to teach every subject without a problem, without hesitation, without an issue. And he asked them, do you know why I managed to teach you everything? And everyone goes like, wait a minute, you can't be. He says, yes, 2 years ago, I am known as the god of death. So, pretty much, he was the original god of death. This is some major revelations, anime onlys, so be aware of what's to come. I should have warned everybody. I should have warned you guys at the beginning of the video, like, if you are anime onlys and haven't watched the episode or something, I suggest you should have stopped the video until then, you know? And he also reveals maybe like reveals that no matter what or something, depending on the situation, if nobody is able to kill me, I am pretty much going to die with everybody, with you. And therefore, his past begins. And we start off seeing that we have to it that the god of death, who was in his human form, you know? And we have to it that we get to know his backstory. He was born in a very ugly part of the slums, you know? And we have to it that, and when he grew up in the slums, which is the god of death, you can't trust anybody but yourself. And therefore, he practiced every killing method as possible. And he managed to leave a big old trail, you know? But before then, like, eventually, like, he gets captured and becomes an experiment, you know? To test these kinds of things on him. And that's when Yanigasawa or Shiro or the guy in the ghost costume who reveals his real identity is shown. And we have to it that he asks him some questions, how is it, you know, and so forth. And pretty much he ends up meeting like one person in his life that eventually talked to him, you know. And this is Kayano's sister, Yukimura Sensei, you know. That became a major thing and importance to him. But eventually we have to it that the god of death would have realized like a certain like certain way how to get out, you know, despite what's been happening. So eventually he talks with Yukimura Sensei, even after being experimented on. Just saying, I mean, it's pretty obvious. But we have to it that after talking to Yukimura and so forth, it was pretty fun, you know? He actually had a fun time. But eventually, Yanigasawa ends up abusing her, and he did not like the fact of that, you know? So, pretty much like after being captured and so forth, he was treated as an experiment guinea pig, if anything. So, yeah, despite that, he ends up talking to Yukimura even after what's been going on, and before then, before Yanigasawa was about to like abuse Yukimura once more, he used a certain technique and boom, knocks him out, you know, like knockout blow, pretty much. And we have to it that he says, you know, you could teach me more, you know, eventually. And as the episode continues, he ends up learning a lot with like with Yukimura, you know. And it's been 3 months they spent together, and seeing how like how things were going, you know, things were starting to look a little like nice. And eventually Yukimura Sensei talks to the god of death, who would eventually become Korosensei, and bonded with him a little bit longer, you know. But he gets electroshocked and is about to be experimented on more, and he ends up coughing up a lot of blood. But eventually we have to it that things were starting to look a little like good for the god of death in a certain way, you know. So we have to it that after what's been happening, he tells Yukimura that, you know, I was betrayed by one of my students, you know, that kind of thing. And we have to it that things were starting to look a little like tough knit, you know. And after being experimented on, electroshocked and so forth here and there, and him teaching her, spending his months as a guinea pig or lab rat, if anything, things were starting to look a little pretty nice, you know. And of course the episode ends off with like Yukimura telling the god of death, who will eventually become Korosensei, about her class E students, which is pretty cool, not too bad. So yeah, I really wish I should have warned you guys, if you are anime onlys and if you never finished the manga and so forth, you should not watch this video. This is just a raw version, but because I read the manga and I've been comparing a couple scenes here and there, it's been very important. So, to summarize up in simple bullet points without a lot of details, if anything, which I always do at the end of my video, it just picks up where Kayano takes on Korosensei. Korosensei asks the students for help. Nagisa delivered 15 critical hit blows with tongue kissing, obviously a deep kiss, if anything. And we have to it that the students were attacked by Yanigasawa, or whatever, Shiro, that guy in the ghost costume, whatever. And eventually he had a number 2 with them. Yeah. And another thing too is that they talk to Kayano. Nagisa tells Kayano, we're your friends, you know. And Korosensei reveals his past with Yukimura Sensei. And he became a guinea pig, and he was betrayed by his student, which eventually that person became the person who takes over the god of death. Title. Pretty simple bullet points right there, you know. It's nothing hard. I just gave out a little details here and there. It was a little like hard for me to summarize it, recap it in a way, but those bullet points I give you right now it should be enough to like to have an understanding. So yeah, just like the almost maybe the first half of the episode, it's just like Kayano recovering and being beaten, and this other guy shows up, and the other half is the backstory of Korosensei himself, who was also known as the first god of death. So yeah, I apologize for this video, right, for being long, and I apologize I'm doing the raw version because I read the manga already. I will tell you this though. After the backstory of the god of death and Korosensei, some real stuff is about to get down. Some of you might have high expectations. Some of you might be disappointed. It doesn't matter. But I think I look forward to it greatly, because those scenes eventually became like a certain turning point for me eventually. So if anything else, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, even though you haven't watched the episode, but hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did. Until then, I'm Alfazzetto. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot toot.